All right, guys, we are here 2023 at Audioholics Live. We're in the Bowers and Wilkins and Classe A room. We just did an awesome 2-channel demo. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey folks, I'm Gene Delasalo with Audioholics. We're here with Michael Johnsboy. How you doing, Michael?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, anytime I get a chance to hear the Classe A equipment, Bowers and Wilkins systems, I want to just take a sit and listen. And that's what it's all about, and that's what audio is all about. I want you to give us a rundown of what the signature line of this series is, because these are the flagships from Bowers and Wilkins. You guys have been running these speakers for decades.
Correct.
And continuing to redefine them and refine them. So why don't you give us a rundown of what's going on with these two models here?
Yeah, for sure. So about 2 years ago is when we launched our 800 D4 series. So after that, we go about as like figuring out what can we do better, right? How can we make them sonically better? It's not just about the looks. Yes, we do have 2 custom finishes for these speakers on the 801s and 805s. We have this midnight blue metallic, gorgeous deep blue. And then we also have a color called, or a veneer called California Burl. Very pretty veneer. You get lost in the graining and stuff like that of it. But the updates that we did, because once again, it's not always about the color, it's all about the upgrades sonically. So starting up here in the top, simple as a tweeter cover, so there's less surface area within this tweeter cover over here, so now that even opens up the tweeter even more. Underneath the beautiful Connolly leather, there is a top plate here. We made some advancements to that with some decoupling materials, with some relief holes in there to cut down on some resonances and things like that that was causing. And then going into the mid-range and the woofers, we redid the motor structures on those to add some more stability, beefier structure. Helps with everything for the deeper bass, better mid-range, more open mid-range, everything like that. And then going down to the flow port, you'll see the example of what a flow port looks like on the 805, but on the 801s, it's bottom ported. So they were made of plastic on the 801 D4s, but now we made them out of aluminum and tied them into the total structure of the cabinet. So even at the bottom, we're rigidding up that cabinet even more, because that's really what it's about. The tighter the cabinet, the better, wider sounding stage that we're really going to get out of the speaker, and more bass or cleaner bass, everything.
What are the prices of the 805s and the 801 signatures?
Yeah, so the color, once again, the color options are the midnight blue metallic and California Burl. That's available on both the 801s and the 805s. The 805s are $14,000 a pair without stands. And then when you get up to the 801s signatures, those are $50,000 a pair.
Now the stands, these are from Bowers and Wilkins, and these screw into the cabinet to make sure it doesn't tip
Correct,
over.
Yep. The stands are made for the 800 D4 series, but they are, of course, they are compatible with the signature series as well. So they are made specifically for that speaker. Everything screws into it. Very solid stand.
So one thing I really loved about this room, I love Classe A. I don't think you guys promote the brand enough. I really think there's state-of-the-art engineering in this preamp, as well as the amplifier. As you guys know, every time I do an amplifier video, I reference the CT2300, which is a couple of models below this. This is actually a monoblock. This is taking 2 CT2300s and bridging them together into one channel to give you double the power. Of course, there's other refinements. I love these amps because they measure great. You guys rate them before the knee of the distortion curve. Most manufacturers don't do that. And they run really cool because they have that icy tunnel where it just takes the heat from the heatsink and flows it out. You never hear a fan in these things. The noise floor is so low, the distortion is so low on these amps. And they're just beautiful. I love watching the VU meters. The coolest thing about it is we were listening at a pretty healthy level in here. I didn't see them go above 3 watts.
Correct.
I mean, these speakers are pretty high sensitivity. They're efficient. I mean, it just sounded great. What was that last demo track we were listening to? I'd never heard of that artist before. Do you remember what we were playing?
So we played Freedom, which is a George Michael cover, right? So yeah. Freedom by Christine and the Queens. It's a beautiful, adds a bunch of spaciousness with her voice right away. But man, when it builds up towards the end, when she starts singing Freedom, it just fills the room and just the dynamics come to life on these speakers.
So I could tell you, I never heard this version of the song, and I was sitting in the front row, literally like 4 feet, maybe 5 feet from the speakers. I heard a really strong phantom sound, and the speakers imaged well, but the spaciousness that we got, it really sounded like the walls just disappeared. It was just wide. I was not expecting to get that kind of sound signature. Sitting so close, I was like, it's not going to be great. It was a great experience. I even had my daughters listening. They were impressed. So this is really a cool system. If you're putting together a 2-channel system, obviously Audioholics sells all these brands online. We'll put some links down below. Definitely check it out, especially the Classe A. I'm going to give more love to Classe A because I don't think enough people know. This is kind of one of those sleeping giants in the industry. I just think they're benchmarking every single category of what you guys do. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumb up, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/Audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to suggest video topics. And until next time, my friends, keep listening.